All right, Ambassador Jenny's in the studio with us. Now, the reality is Ambassador Jenny's always in the studio. She's just on the other side of the studio. I don't know if you guys know this, but she's actually not in a Twitter cloud when she's asking me the questions. All right, Jenny, what do you got for me?
All right, first one's from Rodrigo Herrera. She wants to know, Cenk, how much do you bench press?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Now, I haven't been bench pressed in a million years, okay? But back when I did, back in high school and then briefly in Miami, 225. Not bad for a high school kid, okay? And if I went back, I'm sure I'd get up to 425 or so. All right, what's next?
Farah Quilleen, have you always been able to see into the future?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. And, the obvious answer is, of course I could. I would just go, and see into the future. Next.
AM Saint, you're the man with your political hypothesis. How come?
I love these questions. I think it's probably because I got the Bill de Blasio thing right recently, so there was a bunch of these that were like, oh my God, you're so good. So keep them coming. No. All right, look, honestly, it's just, am I wrong at times? Of course I'm wrong sometimes. I happen to think that and we show it on tape, et cetera, that I'm right a little bit more than I'm wrong, and certainly far more than any pundit. It's really based on logic. It's not, I don't go in with preconceived notions. If I think that the Democrat is going to lose or the progressive is going to lose, I look at the numbers and I go, well, that's what's going to happen, right? And so if you keep an open mind and you're not biased and you're not an idiot pundit who keeps getting hired for being wrong, it's not as hard as you might think. You just read the details of a story, you look at the numbers, and it gets a lot easier. Yes, next.
Vinny Quack wants to know, if you were to host a show like TYT for an audience in Turkey, how would it be different?
That's an easy one. It would be in Turkish. Next.
Ariel Rosenberg, what made your family move to the USA from Turkey, and do you remember when you lived in Turkey?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, I do actually. I was 8 years old when we moved, and I, of course, I remember. I remember from the age of 5 about to the age of 8. I remember when I lost my favorite pair of shoes. That's my first memory ever on a beach that we used to go to a little outside of Istanbul. And I was like, no, I had buried them in the sand and I knew where they were until I didn't, and I was devastated by it. Isn't that funny? That's my first memory. So the reason we moved is my dad really, really believes in America. I mean, there's a bunch of different factors, but he's hokey that way. He believes in the American dream. That's why sometimes my nickname for my dad is the American dream. And he lived it. He lived the American dream. He brought us here, made a good living, provided for us, got us a good education, etc. He believed in this country. He believed in the principles. And then there was a little bit of unrest in Turkey at the time too. My dad is very risk averse, so he was like, pack your bags, we're going. He just became Indian. I don't know why he did. But anyway, that's part of the reason we left.
We love art and politics. The Young Turks get stories mainly from mainstream media and big internet news sites, or also random stories?
Well, that's a good question too. Yes, we certainly rely on some of the big publications, whether it's Guardian, New York Times, Washington Post, depending on who's breaking a story, right? And that's critically important. I'm really worried about what's happening to the print journalism in this country. I really want that to be strong and healthy. And sometimes that's why I pick on them, not to destroy them like the right wing wants to do, but to make them better so they actually do great journalism. But yes, I check my Twitter account all the time because I don't want to just rely on the websites that we go to, because a lot of times if three of you have sent the same story, it's probably a really interesting, important story, and we often get stories that way. All right, next.
Brandon Camp wants to know if you ever thought the show would become this successful.
That's another great question, because the reality is, I have a giant ego, and I think, yeah, of course, right, yeah, obviously, right? But I'm not sure that even I would have thought, I don't know, the number of billion is really large. And now the network's up to 1.5 billion views. The Young Turks show is at near 1.2 billion views. And if you told me that, even in my extreme, egotism, etc., 10 years ago, I don't think I would have said, no, it won't be. I mean, don't be ridiculous. It won't be that big. So I think we really hit a nerve. I think a lot of people are tired of the mainstream media. They're tired of the crap that they're peddling. I think that's why they're coming to us. So it's been really rewarding and surprising.
Next one's from Alexander Pingho. What do you think of the Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay, so everybody's like, Pledge of Allegiance, under God, not under God. Look, I was a kid, And even back then I thought it's a little cultish. You know, we all get up and we're like, "Dear leader, we pledge allegiance to." In this case, it's a country, right? But at the same time, as a kid, I was also hokey, and I loved America, and I still do. So I have mixed feelings about it. Of course, under God should not have been put in there in 1954. It's just totally needless. It's about the country. It's not about God, or it's not about any religion. In fact, if you make it about a religion, it actually, then you're not pledging allegiance to this country, which is based not on religion, specifically so. But overall, we indoctrinate our kids to eat with forks and knives instead of their hands, and we indoctrinate them to love the country they're in. I can live with it. Last one.
Seth Nather, if you can go back in time and change any presidential decision, what would it be and why?
Oh, presidential decision. I thought you meant election when I first read this. I would have changed the Carter-Reagan, because Reagan really set us all on the wrong path. So I would have gone back and redone that. Because like if you redo, Bush-Gore. You know, I once had Jimmy Carter on the show. You know what his answer was? He said he would rather redo Bush-Gore than his own election against Ronald Reagan, which I thought was an amazing answer and incredibly magnanimous. You know what? I'll defer to President Carter, and we'll say 2000, and get Gore to be president. Yes, overall, we shouldn't rely on one leader, and that isn't the answer. But that was a pretty important election. Would have had gigantic differences. So I'll leave it right there. Thank you, Jenny. It's been a Twitter storm. Tonight, we've got meetups in Tampa, San Francisco, and Seattle. So that's pretty badass. Now, I don't want to read all the places and all the times, etc. Just go to tytnetwork.com/meetups, okay? So tonight, Tampa, San Francisco, Seattle. On Wednesday, we've got Austin. On Thursday, we've got London. And Friday, we have Los Angeles. Yes, I will be there, and some of the TYT crew will be there in Los Angeles, so that's pretty badass. And then I can't get enough of the TYT meetups, so we'll be doing one Monday in New York as well, because I'll be in New York next Monday.
What?
So back-to-back, Friday and Monday, meetups in LA and New York.
I love how we find out that you're going to be in New York.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I find out live on the show.
Yeah, all next week, New York, Saturday.
Oh, I'm going to take next week off too.
Okay, just calm down. Next Thursday, we've got one in Costa Rica. I'm not kidding. We have one meetup next Thursday in San Pedro, Costa Rica. Bannerman Eduardo Sanchez, Ernesto Jimenez Lacayo, and Rodolfo Murillo.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Not
Good
bad.
job,
All right.
Henry.
Next Friday, San Diego. Next Saturday, Antwerp, Belgium, of course, and Monday, Toronto. No, 2 Mondays from now, Toronto. So those TYT meetups and their bannerman, etc., that's pretty serious, man.
I want to go to the one in Costa Rica.
How about the one in LA? How about you start there? And then we'll work our way to Costa Rica and Belgium later, okay?
All